Hey guys, hope you're doing well. This is Tim and I'm coming back with a new video. So this one, strap in. I'll just say it early. It's nothing bad. I just want, there's just something that's been in my head and I want to be honest with it. I want to be honest with you guys. I want what's in here to be out into the world. And it's it's nothing bad. In hindsight, it's all good. It only goes better from here. But it's just something I have recognized and I want to have I want what's in my head to be known. So let's go for it. So to lay down context, first off, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. If I didn't tell you that, I know I didn't say it for the channel. But 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, I had my very first private voice acting session with Crispin Freeman, and I was like, yay, I'm so excited because it's one-on-one, and it's all for me, and I paid the money, and I'm like, I'm so excited. I had some weird notion as I was practicing the lines beforehand, as I was getting ready for the role and kind of building myself up. I had some weird, just with how life has been kind of pushing and pulling me around, I had some weird vibe or voice tell me earlier in the day in my head say, if you do this, if you go in and do this private session with Crispin Freeman, by the end of it, some ugly truth of your life is going to come out. Something of your life will come out that will be ugly, and you can learn from it. You can either learn from it or you can run from it. But just know that if you do this, whatever this thing is that you don't know what it is yet, it's going to come out. And it's going to reveal a lot about you. I now know what it is. And it's as horrifying as it is refreshing, to say the least. And I choose to learn from it. So, what is it? I went through and basically I bombed the private one-on-one coaching. I did, and I tried my best. I legitimately tried my best. I didn't go in trying to fail. I did try my best, but I failed. And it happens. What I had learned from it, as quoted by Mr. Freeman, was there's a technical side and there's an emotional side. Like, your technical side is to try and figure things out, and your emotional side is that raw energy of performing. I have a fantastic technical side. My emotional side is weaker. It's there, and when I pull it out, it's beautiful. But for the most part, it's a weak muscle, and my technical side is a giant wall that I have to try and punch through or go around or get over to get into the emotional side. It is so difficult for me to make that transfer from technical into emotional. The way he put it was, it's like a doctor who can think of a wonderful diagnosis, can tell you exactly what's wrong with you, but he doesn't give you the right medication, or any medication at all. Like, that's the part people care about. It's, I want to feel better. Like, well, this is what you are, but I don't know what this is. Or, I know what it is, but I don't have any. You're gonna get pissed at that person. You're gonna want to choke the doctor out. So, in a weird way, me thinking back to literally everything I've done in my life for, let's say, what, five years at least? Since, like, the ending of high school? Probably, like, 10 years. It's weird to think that all the issues I've had, probably as a worker, as a person, in a lot of different aspects, it's that I am a very technical person. It's not a bad thing, but when I need to be emotional, or when duty calls for me to make that switch, when that's necessary, I don't typically do that. It's happened from when I was a musician doing percussion, where I would be said, hey, like, you're playing all the notes right and you're doing great, but you're kind of mechanical. You're a robot. Like, live it up. Get more flexible. Then there was parts, like, with school where it's like, hey, like, you're, like, I did an animation internship, and they're like, you got these great ideas, you know what appeals to people, you get timing well, you get story well, like, you got this technical stuff down. But when you make it, sometimes it doesn't line up, or you don't even make it at all. Like, you research, you do tutorials, you do all this planning. My brain thinks planning is acting. then it just, everything else from the moves I've had to do to jobs I've had to work at, that it's this weird thing where I've now realized I can validate myself. I can validate knowing that I'm not lazy. I'm not a lazy person. That I'm planning too much. I'm so much of this, not this. It's just all the issues I've had for so long. Like, it was finally phrased in a way that I could understand it, or maybe this year, which 2017, if I had to put a name on it, it's been my year of healing, because 2016 and 2015, holy cow, those for me were horrible. Those were the worst years of my entire life. But what I can now validate through this pain and through this understanding is that, what I can validate is that through all of this, I'm not lazy. I just plan too much. I'm just super technical. And that when I'm emotional, like, hey, look at me right now, like, when I'm emotional, I can be pure. I can do good things when I'm here. When I get here, I can do great things. Because I've done it before. I've done international championships as a musician. I graduated college as valedictorian with an Advanced Achievement Award, and did all these other things. Like, when I've been in this category, I've done fantastic. Just that transition, that gear change, is what I'm having trouble with. That pretty much going back to everything I've wanted to do in life, that has been my issue. So first off, if I've done anything wrong, or if I've disappointed you, or offended you, or underperformed, or didn't get something, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do that when I should have. But now I know, and I choose. I am not running away from it. I'm not running away from this. I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna hug a cactus. And sorry for all the snot and ugliness. But I want to be honest, and I want to let you guys know this in my head, because I've heard this so many times, but it wasn't until now when all this has happened and I finally was willing to listen and get out of this technical box. I was willing to make the leap. It makes sense. It makes sense now. Like, funny enough, it, like, who knew? Like, who would have thunk that an actor has taught me how to act? Literally, going from this to this. Who would have thunk, right? So overall, despite all this, despite me looking like a mess, I'm actually doing pretty fantastic. Like, to validate myself knowing that I'm not lazy, I'm just misguided, and that I don't make the switch when I need to. That's so relieving. That's so relieving, just to know that when I make the switch, I can do well. I just don't typically make it. But now that I know that I suffer from analysis paralysis, and that it's not that I'm lazy. I used to procrastinate when I was a kid, but I think I've grown out of that for the most part. Just knowing that I'm not a lazy person, and just knowing that I just get stuck, and that now I know how to change that and can work on changing that, that just makes everything all the better. Like, I'm sorry for all the times I've messed up. I'm sorry for all the times maybe if I ever offended you or didn't get something done and you were wondering why I didn't do it. This might be why. So I'm sorry for all the times I've failed, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of failing anymore. I'm I'm making this, I'm not this, sorry. I'm looking at the camera and I keep forgetting what's the reverse of, so I'm willing to make this jump now. And now I know how to make this jump in all parts of my life, from health to work. I know what I have to do. I just have to do it. And now I can identify different ways on how to make that leap. So if you were watching, thank you, Mr. Freeman, for kicking my ass for an hour and literally changing my whole perspective on life. And to everyone else, you know, if you somehow have made it to this point, or if you know, even if you just skip through, you know, thank you for your time, and, you know, thank you for lending me an ear. This is I want to get this across. I don't want this trapped in my head, and I want other people to know. But it's just, you know, and I hope in some way this can help you out. Maybe you're suffering this same issue of analysis paralysis. I hope maybe you could learn something from this. If I could somehow help someone in some way through this revelation, you know, that makes me happy. So, you know, I don't want to keep babbling on, and so I'll leave it at this. But I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. You know, the rest of this year for me, I think I'm going to continue healing. I can't wait for 2018. 2018, for me, I can already put a name on it. It's a year for action. It's a year for action. It's a year from moving from this into this, which is acting. Voice acting, animating, doing, making sure what I plan comes real. And I know I can do it because I've done it before. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be alive. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, a beautiful holiday season coming up shortly, and a beautiful rest of your year, and beautiful 2018. Okay. Bye.